community. I'm retired Sergeant Major Bennett, Marine Corps Association's Professional Development Director and area rep for the Quantico and the National Capital Region. Tonight's award dinner is co-hosted with the Commander, Marine Corps Systems Command, Brigadier General David Walsh. Sir, we want to thank you and Sergeant Major Goodyear for your continued support of our mission of advancing leadership and recognizing excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, our musical and color guard support for tonight's ceremony is from the oldest post of the Corps, Marine Barracks, Washington, D.C. at 8th and I. It's my pleasure to introduce the voice of the barracks, Sergeant Alex Lindell.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Marine Barracks, Washington, D.C. takes great pleasure in presenting the Commandant's Own United States Marine Drum and Bugle Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of the colors and the playing of our national anthem. The Marine Corps color guard before you is unique. Flanked by two Marine riflemen, our national flag is carried by the 40th Color Sergeant of the Marine Corps, Sergeant Cameron Williams of Jacksonville, Florida, while the Marine to his left carries the official battle color of the Marine Corps. The 55 streamers and silver bands displayed with the battle color commemorate the military campaigns in which the Marines have participated. They span the entire history of our nation, from the Revolutionary War to the conflicts in Afghanistan, Iraq, and Syria. Decorated with palms, oak leaf clusters, and stars, they represent over 400 awards and campaigns of the United States Marines. It is the privilege of Marine Barracks, Washington, D.C., the oldest post of the Corps, to be entrusted with the custody of color. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Formed in 1934, the Commandant Zone has the distinction of being the only active duty drum and bugle corps currently serving in the United States. We open our program this evening with a march written as a tribute to service personnel whose heroic actions inspired these famous words, uncommon valor. We close our program with one of this nation's most popular songs of freedom, Battle Hymn of the Republic. Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of Chief Warrant Officer 2, Courtney Lawrence of Houston, Texas, Marine Barracks, Washington, D.C. proudly presents the Commandant Zone, United States Marine Drum and Bugle Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the Marines hymn. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the Commandant's Own.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce the President and CEO of Marine Corps Association, Lieutenant General Charles.
Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's everyone doing? Mike, why don't we run that video really quick? We're going to do something a little bit different. I am the voice of MCA tonight, so let's do it. All right, here we go.
The Marine Corps Association is the professional association of the United States Marine Corps, founded more than 100 years ago by General John A. LtGen, who, along with a group of like-minded Marines, saw the need for an association whose mission was the betterment and improvement of the Corps through professional development, the recognition of excellence, and by expanding awareness of the rich traditions and history of the world's finest fighting force. The MCA is a member-based organization comprised of tens of thousands of active duty, reserve, and veteran Marines and friends of the Corps, and together with our donors and industry partners, we provide a variety of resources to assist in the education and growth of those in the profession of arms. The Marine Corps Gazette and Leatherneck, Magazine of the Marines, are the flagship publications of the Marine Corps Association. General LtGen established the Marine Corps Gazette in 1916 as the Corps' professional journal for the free exchange of ideas, professional debate, and the discussion of the issues of greatest importance to the Corps. Enlisted Marines and officers from throughout the Corps regularly contribute to the Gazette, including staff non-commissioned officers detailing logistical and tactical challenges, to the Commandant himself explaining his Force Design 2030. With a legacy nearly as long, Leatherneck magazine was founded in 1917 and became a vital part of the association in 1976. In its over 100 years in print, Leatherneck has chronicled the history of the Corps and shared the stories of Marines in every clime and place, from the forests of Bella Wood to the deserts of Iraq. In addition to publishing our legendary magazines, the Corps' professional association supports today's Marines in a variety of other ways by providing a wide range of resources, including battle study packages, authoritative references, podcasts, and decision-making exercises. Providing funding for unit libraries and commanders' forums from the company to division level is yet another means by which the Marine Corps Association supports commanders' efforts to develop their Marines into strong leaders and mentors. The association also formally recognizes the achievements of thousands of Marines each year across all of the formal schools and training detachments by providing a variety of awards from the honor graduates in every series at the recruit depots to high-performing graduates of top-level PME colleges and schools. We also sponsor various writing awards and essay contests on topics ranging from leadership to innovation, and host numerous professional and awards dinners and events in the National Capital Region and throughout the operating forces. Our events provide Marines of all ranks with opportunities to hear from senior leaders in industry, the Department of Defense, and other governmental agencies in order to educate, challenge, and inform their thinking. Since 1913, it has been the privilege of the Marine Corps Association to support the professional development of Marines on and off the battlefield, and we look forward to continuing to serve our fellow Leathernecks in every clime and place in the future. Semper Fidelis.
Wow. All right, that's your motivational kind of 5-minute spill, right? Truly, I wanted to play that because the young sergeant doesn't have anything on Colonel Mundy. That is the voice right there. So Colonel Mundy and Colonel Woodbridge over there, who also put together the content for this show. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Chuck Scirotti, the CEO and president of the Marine Corps Association, and I'm honored to be here tonight to host the acquisitions dinner for this year. Thank you so much for being here. I know that most of you were voluntold, and so you're here, and thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that. I want to again give a round of applause to the United States Marine Corps Drum and Bugle and the Color Guard for their performance. Again, just like General Heckle just said, they never fail to perform. I am deeply honored and privileged to be part of this team that leads the Corps' professional organization that was founded by Major General John A. Lejeune in 1913. And it is his vision and intent that still carries forth today, and that is why we were here. Part of that is to recognize the excellence of our Marines and civilians that carry us day in and day out in the jobs that we perform around the Marine Corps. Today, we celebrate the Acquisition Corps. So thank you so much for the opportunity to be here in front of you today. I want to give my sincere and heartfelt welcome to Brigadier General Walsh. What is it, 3 weeks now? You are a boot. So newly minted, for those of you that don't know, he just took over from Brigadier General Pasajian, who retired here a couple of weeks ago. And General Walsh, congratulations. That's a hell of an opportunity, and you are worthy of that. Right. I want to take this time also to just, if you don't mind, General Walsh, to recognize AJ, General Pasajian. Again, a great Marine for those of you, and I know most of you know him. He's down in Tampa right now playing golf, I'm sure, or carrying on something about Yankees or Mets or something. I don't know what he's doing, but great Marine that retired. But he brought us to this place in the acquisition force. He and a lot of other phenomenal individuals, and I just want to give a shout out to him and thank you. Thank you for letting us do that. The other part of a lot of thanks tonight, as I always do, because this doesn't get done, but my team here, led by Leanne Mitchell, who does our sponsorship events. All of you know her, and because you know her, you're probably a lot less rich. And she's the one that supports us and puts these events together, does a fantastic job, supported by Shelby, Sarah, Valerie, Heidi, and everybody else out there. So just a round of applause for a fantastic team that we have. Sergeant Major and your spouse, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting your new commander there. It's going to be a hell of a ride, I know it is, so thank you. Mr. Williford and Mr. Broughton, you're here, I believe. Thank you for all that you do, sir. I have the deep honor of hosting with us tonight Lieutenant General Heckle. Karsten has been, we've been friends for a while. We were just reminiscing about our time in London together. There was a couple of pubs that I had to drag him out of. He never had to drag me out of, but I had to drag him out of, him and General Yu, actually. So actually, it was General Yu we had to drag out of there, right? But gave the Brits a run for their money. But thank you for being here, sir. I know you're extremely busy, and but what a marriage of opportunity here that you have the Deputy Commandant for Combat Development Integration here talking about acquisitions and being able to recognize the excellence in the awards. That's what this team is. And for those that sit on the outside and perhaps have something to say about whether or not we go through this process of developing capabilities and the whole, let this be testimony to that we have an integrated team that works well together, and it's led by CD&I and then handed off to Mark Corsiscom. So thank you, sir, for continuing to bring us phenomenal presence in the battlefield. I also want to recognize our sponsors because, again, without you, we're not eating tonight. And so I want to thank you for the opportunity. I want to call out Claxton Logistics. I think you're here somewhere tonight, gentlemen. We put you all the way in the end because you guys paid so much. That was good. We put you guys all the way out there. So thanks so much. As always, you guys are great teammates, whatever it is. So thank you for supporting us as always. Your contributions, along with the other supporters out here, really make it possible for us to deliver on the capabilities of the future. And again, I've said this time and time again, and I mean it, and that is that without the relationship of industry and the senior leadership and the Marines of the Marine Corps, what we need to fight in the future battlefield would not be possible. Marine Corps does not develop and build things. We just levy requirements. You're the ones that have to do that. So this marriage of industry and Marine Corps leadership is exactly what we need to help the Commandant fulfill the vision of the future force design efforts. So thank you so much for being here tonight. We've got a group of young Marines in the back room back there. I don't think they were voluntold. I hope they weren't voluntold, but they found out there was free meal tonight, so they decided to come anyway. Anyway, I want to recognize them because they are the future. As always, when we have young Marines with us, it's always great to. So if you could please stand up. They are from Fort Meade, only there temporarily as they represent the class of. They represent the future strategic communications Marines that are going to be able to articulate to the world really what it is that the Marine Corps does, doesn't do, or what happened last night on Liberty. So thank you so much for everything, for being there. It's a great and exciting time, and thank you for honoring us with your presence here. We have, if I could, just call out our members in the audience. We're about 44,000 strong in the association. And a lot of you here tonight are members. If you're not, we got a problem. But truly, we got a problem. But with your help, we're able to deliver on everything that our videos talked about. Either awards, commanders programs, libraries, whatever it may be. Our membership and our sponsors really help us in delivering that. So thank you for your support to the association. And tonight, we're here to recognize our awardee winners, but more importantly, the family of our award winners. So if I could please have the families of those that are awarded tonight stand. All right, okay. Thank you so much. You two need to come see me later. I can't believe your mom put you in a tie. That's pretty cool. That's great. All right. You guys ready to talk? You can take my place now. Come on up here. Probably do better. All right. So thank you so much for all that you do, the family members, and supporting your Marines and civilians in achieving their goals. And then finally, what I want to do is I want to bring up our chaplain. As always, I always like ribbing the chaplain a little bit, but tonight I didn't find anything to rib about. Lieutenant Wynn is here. He walked in with the football. I tried to take it from him. He wouldn't give it to me, but he's assured me that it's going to be, last time we talked for about 15 minutes. Today it's going to be about 10, so this will be good.
Let's pray. Community of equipment We are grateful for those Marines who keep us well equipped and sharpen the edge of the tip of the spear. As we celebrate these individuals tonight, together we are about to, as we are blessed in abundance, keep us ever mindful of those who live in lack. Most holy name, amen.
Yeah, I heard it. I guess somebody was looking out for you there, huh? Cutting that voice out on you. Ladies and gentlemen, again, the night is going to continue now. We're going to have some meal, and then we'll come up later on and we'll introduce our guest of honor and our speaker. So please enjoy yourself. Have a great meal. We'll see you in a little bit. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please get back to your seats, please. Let's be seated. Thank you very much. Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to introduce the Commander of Systems Command, Brigadier General David Walsh. General.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for being here. Sergeant Major Bennett, thanks for the introduction. General Schride, thanks for hosting tonight. Great opportunity to recognize our acquisition professionals. These aren't folks that are out there pulling triggers every night and wiggling sticks and doing all the stuff that makes the news, but these folks have an outsized impact on the future of our Corps. So it's great to have an opportunity to get together and recognize some of those folks. Quick thanks to our general officers, our senior executives who are here tonight. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here. Thanks. This doesn't go off without a lot of work behind the scenes, a lot of work that leads up to this months in advance. So thanks for all the folks who take the time to write up the individuals who get these awards, nominate folks, the folks who take the time to read through all of that, sort through it, sift through it, and pick the very best of our acquisition community to accept these awards tonight. Also want to thank the folks who help organize from the Marine Corps Association Foundation. A lot of work, like I said, goes behind the scenes to make this happen. So thank you for putting this together tonight. As the acquisition command of the Marine Corps Systems Command, along with our PEO Land Systems folks and Mr. Badron, thanks for being here tonight representing PEO Land Systems. Our mission is to field equipment to our Marines, the very best equipment as quickly as we can, and squeeze every ounce of capability we can out of the budget that we're given. But the center of gravity isn't that gear. It's not the gear we deliver to our Marines. It's really our people. That's what we're here to celebrate tonight. Our acquisition professionals who work behind the scenes in a complex environment of acquisition regulations, high-tech equipment, complex negotiations through with our industry partners to make sure our Marines get the very best. And that's really what they deserve. So that's why I'm honored to be here tonight representing our acquisition professionals as we recognize our Marine officers, our senior enlisted, our civilian acquisition professionals for their outstanding achievements, for their leadership and their professionalism over the last year. It's a privilege to be able to recognize them here tonight in this public forum for the hard work they do day and night to make sure our Marines get the very best. That 19-year-old Lance Corporal out there sleeping, fighting in the gear that we provide is the reason we come to work every day, and it really should inspire us to do our very best. The folks we're going to recognize here tonight are just exemplars of the hard work that our Marines and our acquisition professionals do every day. So thank you again to the Marine Corps Association Foundation for providing us with this forum, this wonderful opportunity to gather here tonight and recognize these deserving individuals. I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize our industry partners. Our industry partners support us. They help make this event possible, along with the other events that the Marine Corps Association does. And the partnerships we have with them enable us to provide the very best to our Marines. They're usually out there. They're out there working in other services, other countries, on the leading edge of technology. They're usually aware of what's the cutting edge before we are. So our partnerships with them and our close collaboration with them is really vital to making sure our Marines get everything they deserve and supporting our warfighters. The modernization of our Corps that our industry partners, along with our acquisition professionals, support is essential to making sure we can compete in this era of near-peer competition and in executing Force Design 2030. So we will continue to work closely with our partners in industry, academia, our partners in other services, our allies around the world, and particularly with our allies right there at Quantico, Marine Corps Warfighting Lab, who is working on the cutting edge with industry to make sure we know what the best of the best is for our Marines. direction, the energy behind it is really helpful for us as we interact with you. And it's really helpful to know exactly what our Marines need. So I look forward to working more closely with your team, sir, as we, again, I am the new guy in the boot, 3 weeks in a job, but already a great relationship with your team, sir, and look forward to continuing to work with you. So ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, introduce Lieutenant General Carsten Heckle, Commanding General of Marine Corps Combat Development Command and Deputy Commandant for Combat Development and Integration.
How's everybody doing? Right? Yeah. Leave it to the frog guy to get up here and break something. So I'm not worried if this mic goes out. I mean, one thing I've never been accused of is being quiet, so or being demure. I am blind though, so there you go. Okay, so hey, first before we get started, and to all the things, I'm not going to repeat them because we want to get through this. I am certainly not what we're here for. We're here for the folks you heard Angus talking about. So I'm going to get through this quickly. But so in addition to General Schroeder, thank you always. General Rourke is around here as well. But I'm going to somebody that's been a mentor of mine and quite frankly has given me a lot of homework over the years is Lieutenant General Shuttler. Born in how old are you now, sir? You're born in 1926. He is an amazing human being, right? Amazing. I'm the commander of one MEF. He shows up in my office and gives me, I showed Christy and my aide, gives me a notebook full of homework assignments. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And so I went home that weekend and studied all of it. So General Shuttler, thank you for being here, sir. I am absolutely, it's an honor to be here with you. Okay, and so the band, all the stuff, the food was amazing. If I pass out, it's not because I drank too much, it's the food. So, and Angus, thanks for the intro. It is really an honor to be here with everybody today. An opportunity to recognize some of these really inspiring acquisition professionals who have really helped get our Corps where we are today. And although we're recognizing 4 specific individuals for their dedication and leadership, I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the simple fact that every single person in this room has helped move the proverbial force design football closer to the goal line, right? Without each and every one of you, both in and out of uniform, we would not be where we are today, modernizing our Marine Corps to meet the needs of tomorrow and the operating environment that we face today. So thank all of you for what you do every single day, for bringing all the capabilities and requirements that emerge out of the force design and development work at CD&I, bringing all that to life. It's really important. And this group really is where, in a lot of ways, the rubber meets the road. And there are some things down in Quantico, whether it's CD&I in its totality as CDD and, Combat Development Directorate and Warfighting Lab, without MARCOR SysCom, it don't work, okay? And I'm going to allude to that in a little bit. I am honored to be here today, and that is a genuine sentiment because I have seen and experienced firsthand what it means to the mission to have the right folks with the right skill sets, grinding away every day, manning that oar, and ensuring our Marines are equipped to succeed and win. And nobody does that as well as MARCOR SysCom. 2,400. That is the strength of our acquisition workforce. So to some folks, that might sound like a rather large number. To the former commander of one MEF, doesn't sound like a big number at all. But to me, I know many of you wish you had one more soul there to help assist with the task at hand. With nearly 500 military and 1,900 civilians, you're the reason we are succeeding with our modernization, and we're doing it at pace. And here, if you've heard me say anything at any point, the one thing I reiterate is the one luxury we don't have, folks, is time. President Xi is outpacing us at scale, on orders of magnitude. We don't have time. And I'm old, been around a while. When I came on active duty, Ronald Reagan was president, Soviet Union was still a real thing. We're right back there, folks, if you hadn't realized that. So our adversaries aren't waiting, and so everything that this group does makes us speed up, and we got to move out, and MARCOR SysCom is doing that. I'm also a firm believer in the power of relationships. I believe that, strong relationships, increased communication, and with good communication, things just go faster. They're accomplished in a more precise fashion. The bottom line is relationships matter. They matter a lot. Mike Howell taught me about 20 years ago, it ain't just all about the money. It's all about the money. And then he would say, relationships, because the manpower don't flow without relationships. Relationships eliminate stovepipes. And right now, folks, as a nation, we can't afford to be operating in isolated echo chambers, particularly when you think about the geopolitical landscape we're facing today. Anyone who thought the world was becoming a safer place has certainly experienced a life-altering wake-up call over these past few months, beginning at the Beijing Olympics, like I've talked about a million times, with Putin and Xi declaring their alliance that has no limits. On the world stage, the Beijing Olympics, and their intent to end the post-World War II international rules-based order that we have supported for 75 plus years. I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm not exaggerating. This is real. This threat is real. The Soviet Union at its zenith was about 44% of our GDP. As we all know, China is about to surpass us. So when you think about all the elements of national power, and you think about all the elements of national power that the Chinese are wielding, just let it sink in a little bit. And now we actually know that Putin and Xi actually collaborated on Putin's unprovoked invasion of Ukraine. And with the interconnectedness of the globe today, the planet as in total is at a real inflection point. And I'm convinced that we are at a critical intersection in our nation's journey. And I'm also certain we're not going to get a second chance to get this right. I've been a witness to one of the greatest examples of successes through relationships through the work of your recently retired boss and dear friend of mine, Brigadier General A.J. Pasajian, who is why I'm here today, and the rest of the three amigos, Major General Smash Austin at CDD, Major General Ben Watson at McWill. And unfortunately, they're all three turning over this summer. But we got great people coming in behind them. Angus is already in place. We got Kyle Ellison stepping in behind Ben Watson, and we got Beast Lightfoot stepping into CDD. But I'll tell you, the other part of this is PEO Land System. They've been there. That was one of the first guys that came and gave me a brief. So it really is magic that what happens down in Quantico. And I've seen open and honest communication break down barriers, grease the proverbial skids, and overcome challenges. Not that any of those gentlemen need me up here touting their successes, but I've been impressed since day one with their ability to translate outcomes and data sets into action. And I look forward to continuing this trajectory alongside Brigadier General Angus Walsh. I really do. And like you said, we've known each other forever. You were a Huey guy, right? I did that on purpose. And this credit also belongs to you, everybody in this room. Being able to reach back to the capabilities and requirements officers to determine exactly what it is that we need to succeed. It is relationships that you've built and maintained that have led to almost 4,000 contracting actions since Force Design 2030 was released in the spring of 2030. Nearly 4,000 contracting actions. You got to just let that sink in a little bit. You're responsible for approximately $3.5 billion in obligations since March 2020. That's a 20% increase since FY19. We are where we are today because of you and your dedicated work. So, as I'm sure this crowd knows, over the past 2 years, the Marine Corps has made an assertive and aggressive shift back to our naval amphibious roots. When most of us came on active duty, we were a fleet Marine Force, and somewhere we lost our way, we went away from it. Now we're back again, which is a good thing, but we've made an aggressive shift back. The Commandant and several of his predecessors acknowledged that the Marine Corps was not organized, trained, or equipped for the emerging threat and the new operating environment. And for everyone, I don't have to tell this group, that's a powerful admission for a warfighting organization that prides itself on being prepared to accomplish any mission, anywhere, anytime. But it's true. It started with Joe Dunford. We began force design activities focused on adapting capabilities to properly shape the Marine Corps' contribution to the Naval Expeditionary Force and the Joint Force writ large. We are creating a modernized design that incorporates emerging technologies, which is clearly y'all's lane, and changes in force structure to deliver a Marine Corps the nation needs and demands. As a combined joint force, we must gain and maintain the competitive edge against the rapid advances of our peer adversaries, most notably the Chinese Communist Party. Okay, you're going to notice something about me. I don't like calling them the PRC. There is no, everybody know what the word republic means? Look it up. Y'all got phones, it's worth a Google. Republic, representative of the people. What the hell is representative about the Chinese Communist Party? So we need to call them what they are. They're just a bunch of filthy communists. That's what we're dealing with. Clearly, China's the pacing threat, and not because we seek conflict. We don't seek conflict with anybody, but we're damn sure prepared to do it. We don't seek conflict, but because their military has set a pace of technological and military development that simply cannot be ignored. Oh, and by the way, this little side note, because the damn NDS of the previous administration and the current directs us to. Last time I checked, Marines follow orders, right? National defense strategies, an order. I'm doing my best not to drop an F-bomb here because I get in trouble. So, and I know there's kids here, so I'm trying to be good. So, but it seems pretty clear. I don't know why anybody would question what we're doing. Read the National Defense Strategy. To do this, we're focusing our activities on expeditionary warfare in actively contested spaces. And I wish I could go like fully informed SAPSTO on you guys, because I'd blow your minds. You know, I'm going to tell you right now, and Angus is not in the vertical because he knows. A lot of what the Commandant has done now almost seems prescient. Like, I'm like, was he going home at night like breaking out a Ouija board? It's good. Force design is focused on our contribution to the joint and partnered force. Partners are absolutely critical. You know, Mattis is the one that said we're never going to go to war alone again. And one of the, and I'm going to get on this a little bit, but I'm going to jump ahead. We've done 36 integrated planning teams, 36. A recurring question or theme throughout all of this during force design has been, what can we do to enable the fleet and joint force commander? So I will tell you, when I was 1MEF and we're reviewing our O plans to deal with a bunch of filthy communists, and I had Billy Murs dial in, who was at the time 7th Fleet, and I adore the ground Admiral Billy Murs walks on. And at the end of about a 2.5-hour session, I looked at him and I go, and I had my whole OPT in there. And I said, Billy, what is it you need 1MEF? You know, the 50,000 man and woman MEF to do. And he looked at me and he goes, I need you to shut down the Philippines. Okay, let me crack open my MacArthur, but okay. So bottom line, enabling the fleet commanders is number one. We're a fleet marine force. But we also understand, and I think our Commandant understands better than most, how we fit into the joint force. He really gets it. So when he sees duplicity that is expensive, costly, burdensome, he gets rid of it. And that's what he's done. And of course, as our nation expects, the Marine Corps, when partnered with our Navy brothers and sisters, are uniquely capable of expeditionary and amphibious operations. We've all been doing this our whole life, right? I grew up on the flat top of amphibs, LPHs, LHAs. I never got on one of those cool new things called LHDs. To be clear, this has not been our focus for the last 2 decades plus. We were needed for the fight in the Middle East, which demanded a force optimized for sustained operations ashore. And many of you were responsible for getting us what we needed during this time, and we are eternally grateful. There's a lot of folks in this room that probably directly saved lives, and that's no joke. Obviously, we answered our nation's call, as we always will. One of my favorite quotes from General Mattis, he's got many of them. I love the one where he said, for we serve in a corps with no institutional confusion about our purpose, to fight well. And that's what we always do. Doesn't matter what the circumstance, we will fight and fight well. But now we face a peer adversary with global reach and influence, with new and more advanced multi-domain capabilities. The only conclusion is to adapt or die. The future Fleet Marine Force requires a transformation, a modernization, with a focus on new, organic, all things organic, and that doesn't mean like grown in your backyard, organic, capabilities that will allow the Navy and the Marine Corps to restore the strategic initiative and to define the future of maritime conflict by capitalizing on new capabilities to first deter and compete, deter conflict, and if that fails, to dominate inside our enemy's weapons engagement zone and enable the joint and partnered force. And that's exactly what we're doing. And we're doing it in a big, bad way. Again, wish I could go all SAPSTO on you guys, but I can't. All of these changes support the Naval Expeditionary Force and the joint and partnered force in all domains, inside and outside the first island chain. I am confident that the substance of our redesign efforts, as well as our pace, will impose costs on potential adversaries across the spectrum of active campaigning, integrated deterrence, and when required, conflict, and we will win. Everything I just talked about has not been done in isolation. We're not just throwing random ideas at the wall to see what sticks. The Marine Corps, and again, I'm kind of shooting on some of the critics that we've all read about lately, because, and here's what I'm going to tell you. Anybody who wants to challenge me, please come. That kind of stuff is helpful. And you're entitled to your own opinion. What you're not entitled to are your own facts. My mama taught me in Stone Mountain, Georgia, that's just lying, right? So you're entitled to your opinion. You are not entitled to your own facts. The Marine Corps has taken a very deliberative approach to this modernization, an evidence-based approach centered on a campaign of learning. I heard one of our critics joke at a panel about, what is this campaign of learning? When I got into the job, I walked into the back closet of my office and pulled out one of these big, gigantic folder things, and there it is. General Walsh, not you, the one that had 3 stars, and General Gluck. So we're talking back a long, long time ago, talking about the campaign of learning. So if you would listen to some of the detractors of force design, you'd think we just made this thing up. Misleading at best, lying at worst, you decide. An evidence-based approach centered on the campaign of learning, a cycle of research, if you will. I also have an operations analysis directorate filled with eggheads, right? No rice bowls. The deep analysis of problem sets allowed for informed decision-making. And to give you an idea of what I mean, I mentioned this earlier. This is where I told you I jumped ahead. We have conducted 36 integrated planning teams thus far. Deliberate planning efforts that gather subject matter experts from across enterprise, most heavily from the fleet. As a matter of fact, 90% of the time, the IPT leads are from the fleet. We conducted 18 experiments led by the Marine Corps Warfighting Lab, aimed at gathering data and feedback. We've conducted over 30 war games. In conjunction with these war games is extensive modeling and simulation, where we can run thousands, literally thousands upon thousands of cycles, while controlling inputs and variables to produce seeds for follow-on efforts and analysis. The Operations Analysis Director I just mentioned ago has conducted over 23 studies and analysis directly associated with force design, helping us to form the campaign of learning that force design is centered around. Does that sound like lacking analytical rigor to anybody? And yet that's one of the major assertions made by some of the detractors. $3.5 billion of obligations by your community. I think Mike Howe told me that, do you know what $1 billion is? It's like $1,600 a day since Christ was born. He said that to me as a major. I'm like, that's too big to fit in my head. I'm just an accounting major from Georgia. It does not compute. Think about that. Just in the last 2 years, you've been directly responsible for countless accomplishments. I'm going to name a few. This isn't even close. I actually made a list. Conducted multiple, even as recently as this past April, successful live fire shots of Navy Marine Expeditionary Ship Interdiction System, the anti-ship capability from a remotely operated ground launcher. One of these shots, back in August of 21, was the first time in over 60 years the USMC, the Marine Corps, and the Don engaged a ship with a ground-based weapon system. In support of Force Design 2030, Marine Corps Syscom divested of legacy equipment, tanks, in order to invest in equipment modernization. The amphibious combat vehicle reached full rate production and initial operating capability. The ACV replaces the amphibious assault vehicle with a modern wheeled variant that supports ship-to-objective maneuver, provides unrivaled protected mobility to embarked infantry, and will in the future deliver precision support by fire effects for dismounted infantry in the attack. Third tracks received these while I was 1MEF. The Marines loved them. I spent countless hours on White and Red Beach. They loved them. One Marine loved it so much, he had a broom, and he was keeping the ramp clean. I'm like, that's just a little bit ridiculous. This is a beach. These are Marines. It's going to get filthy. Program Manager Training Systems secured the command's first ever acquisition pathway designation for the live virtual constructive training environment. Modernized infantry weapon systems, something AJ loves to talk about, and combat devices. Everything from M27 automatic infantry automatic rifle, suppressors, squad bino MVGs, Gen 3 plate carriers, to high-cut enhanced combat helmets. The Marine Corps' largest infantry weapons modernization in over 25 years. That alone is phenomenal. Chief of Naval Research designated Marine Corps Tactical Systems Support Activity as a technical activity in the summer of 2021, authorizing METISA to engage with industry and educational institutions for technology transfer activities and opportunities. Program Manager, Ground-Based Air Defense, PMG badge, successfully tested medium-range intercept capability prototype. We broke ground on the Marine Corps Wargaming and Analysis Center, the MCWAC. We've got to find a better name. It's just not working for me. Which will provide next-generation technologies to help Marines better visualize the threat environment and maintain competitive advantages over adversaries. These are just a few of the major accomplishments that Marine Corps Syscom and the acquisition community writ large are responsible for. Just a few of the thousands of reasons why we are so proud of you and the work you have done. And that's why I'm so honored to be here tonight. Even during a time of chaos due to COVID restrictions and unknowns, you all understood the mission and found a way to get it done. So in 2020, our Commandant laid down a very clear vision of where we needed to go as a Marine Corps. But he also challenged us to make that vision better, to analyze the vision and figure out if it would work and how it would work. General Berger empowered us to question everything, and he still does. So again, to the detractors, not listening to anybody. Really biting my tongue, right? We changed the VMM route. We're changing the size of the infantry battalions. We've kept artillery. I mean, what else do you need? Again, you're entitled to your own opinion. You're not entitled to your own facts. And it's innocently misleading at best. And it's just bold-faced lying at worst. So he still does challenge us, and he does it all the time. Trust me, it happens. Every time I look up at my Tamberg and I see CMC desktop, that's a Tamberg I'm answering. Due to the efforts associated with our campaign of learning, the constant examination and re-examination of the data as it continues cycling through, we have made changes to some of our initial assumptions, and we have also altered and changed course in a few areas based on the evidence and the analysis of the data. And we will continue to re-examine the evidence as the cycle of research dictates. Feedback from the fleet, changes in technology, actions of the adversary, any input you can think of goes back into the modeling and simulation, the war games, the experimentation, which allows us to validate past decisions, make adjustments if necessary, and inform future decisions. It's possible that outcomes from these events might change the direction of a program. If that happens, I ask that you remain flexible, but also driven, as you always have been, even when potentially weeks' worth of work becomes irrelevant because of a change in direction. Stay the course. We need you focused on the future, but we must move out. We can't delay. Our standard way of doing things in the past simply won't work. The campaign of learning that encompasses Force Design 2030 doesn't stop, and it won't stop in 8 years at 2030. In fact, I'm not sure it will ever stop, which is a problem. I have got to get some things fixed. So, as I've said before, 2030 is not a waypoint, it's a destination. The Marine Corps, just as any institution, whether it's a business, government, educational, whatever it may be, must modernize as technology and the operating environment change. As the saying goes, it won't be the strongest, it won't be the fastest, and it probably won't be the smartest that survives. It's the one that can adapt. Having the right people and the right jobs is critical to success. You are critical to the success of this organization, and particularly of Force Design. Expanding collaboration and cooperation, building upon the foundation of our relationships will make us stronger. So to wrap it up, as we continue down this iterative Force Design road, we will make changes along the way, evidence-based changes, underpinned by the analytical rigor of the campaign of learning. If we don't make changes, then we aren't probably collecting the right or enough data. If we don't make changes, we aren't critically thinking about the results of the studies or the evidence presented. We will continue to adapt to the fluid and increasingly competitive operating environment because it's only getting more competitive and more dangerous. Changes in technology, feedback from the fleet and industry, and expertise from people like you will help create the force our nation needs and demands. Over the next few years, the Marine Corps will continue improving service capabilities and lethality for integrated deterrence, active campaigning, competition, and yes, when necessary, conflict. Force design will allow the Navy and the Marine Corps team to restore the strategic initiative, define the future of maritime conflict, and dominate inside our enemy's weapons engagement zone. We are a learning organization. We are constantly analyzing data and sifting through information. Part of learning is listening to feedback, both positive and negative. It makes us better. That's why I encourage you to bring it on. It's only going to make us, and we are not afraid to fail at all. We are not afraid to fail. It will make us better. The channels for communication between our commands are open, between all the three amigos. Keep them open and keep talking. Keep building those relationships. I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you this evening, a time to celebrate what may often feel like a thankless job that we take for granted. Thank you for making our vision a reality. Thank you for translating the requirements and needs and the true capabilities that we need. Thank you for everything that you do every single day. And now let's get on with doing some awards, shall we?
There's a reason why we have the Stratcom Marines in here. This will be a lesson of what's Chatham House rules and what isn't, okay? So.
Am I already in trouble?
You are.
It's a tough act to follow. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Acquisitions Awards Dinner. Tonight, we will recognize the superb performance of individuals from our Marine Corps Acquisition Force. I'd like to once again recognize the families of our recipients. Your contributions, dedication, and support make the superior performance of these Marines possible. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause. Joining Lieutenant General Heckle on stage are Brigadier General Walsh and Lieutenant General Shirati. Our first awardee will be the Andrew J. Higgins Award for Acquisition, Innovation, and Excellence. Mr. Steve Holland of Innovative Reasoning, which sponsors this award, will now join us on stage. Innovative Reasoning is a service-disabled, veteran-owned small business that has proudly supported Marine Corps Systems Command and the United States Marine Corps for over 10 years. Innovative Reasoning specializes in training, logistics, and program management support and is a recognized provider of superior people, processes, and performance. The Higgins Award is presented to a Marine Corps officer for excellence and innovation in the acquisition, fielding, and support of systems and equipment for the operating forces. The award is named after the designer and builder of the landing craft, vehicle, and personnel, or Higgins boat, which carried Allied forces and equipment from ship to shore during World War II. President Dwight D. Eisenhower lauded Higgins as the man who won the war for us for his innovation of a half-wood, half-steel small boat. The recipient of the Andrew J. Higgins Award is Lieutenant Colonel Jeff Steinkamp. Lieutenant Colonel Steinkamp displayed professional achievement while serving as the Future Weapons Systems Product Manager in support of Program Manager, Ground-Based Air Defense, Program Executive Officer, Land Systems. He led his team in planning and delivering the Marine Air Defense Integrated System Increment 1 design while managing the execution of $165 million in 2021. His outstanding leadership reflected credit upon himself and were in keeping with the highest traditions of the Marine Corps and the United States Naval Service. Our next award is the Eugene M. Stoner Award for Acquisition, Innovation, and Excellence. Mr. John Swift of BAE Systems, which sponsors this award, will join us on stage. BAE Systems delivers a full range of products and services for air, land, and naval forces, as well as advanced electronics, security, information technology solutions, and customer support services. The Stoner Award is presented to a Marine Corps staff non-commissioned officer for excellence and innovation in the acquisition, fielding, and support of systems and equipment for the operating forces. The award is named after the developer of the M16 rifle, carried in battle by U.S. Armed Forces since 1963. Eugene Stoner, who designed the M16 while tinkering in his garage at night, was regarded as one of the world's foremost designers of and experts on small arms. The recipient of the Eugene M. Stoner Award for Acquisition, Innovation, and Excellence is Master Sergeant John Phillips. Could his two boys join us on stage? Master Sergeant Phillips displayed exemplary program management and leadership efforts as the topographic production capability family of systems project officer and geospatial intelligent expert for command element systems in 2021. His creative solutions and attention to detail led to successful fielding events and training of the Common Geospatial Intelligence Workstation and server applications. As the Cooperative Research and Development Agreement Principal Investigator between the Marine Corps and the Environmental Systems Research Institute, he was instrumental in completing development of the Moving Target Indicator analytic capability and Joint Personnel Recovery Agency tools. Our next award is the Donald Roebling Award. Pat Williams of Oshkosh Defense, which sponsors this award, will now join us on stage. Oshkosh Defense is a global leader in the design, production, and sustainment of best-in-class military vehicles, technology solutions, and mobility systems, setting the industry standard for sustaining fleet readiness. Oshkosh ensures every solution is supported worldwide throughout the entire life cycle. The Roebling Award is presented to a Marine Corps civilian acquisition professional for excellence and innovation in the acquisition, fielding, and support of systems and equipment for the operating forces. More than 80 years ago, Roebling developed the amphibious tractor, or Amtracs. These sophisticated tractors were heavily produced and used by the Marine Corps in World War II and paved the way for the modern amphibious force operations. The recipient of the Donald Roebling Award for Acquisition, Innovation, and Excellence is Mr. Francis Bonner. Mr. Bonner demonstrated outstanding performance while serving as the Assistant Program Manager, Engineering and Ground-Based Air Defense in 2021. He facilitated the successful execution of numerous system engineering, technical reviews, and acquisition milestone reviews. His leadership of the Installation Counter Small Unmanned Aircraft System technical effort resulted in the first system installation and acceptance in less than 7 months after recipient of the urgent requirement. Additionally, his technical guidance for the development of the Medium Range Intercept Capability Project will result in a cruise missile defense capability that is vital to meet Force Design 2030 objectives. Our next award is the Lawrence P. Kreitzer Leadership Award. Mr. Mike Berrigan, President and CEO of Alexandria Insights, which sponsors this award, will join us on stage. Alexandria Insights helps United States government customers effectively use technology to solve problems of national significance. This award is presented to an individual who inspires and motivates others by exhibiting the highest standards of leadership, courage, and accomplishment in support of the command's mission. Between 1994 and 2003, Mr. Kreitzer served as Marine Corps Systems Command's Executive Director and Deputy Commander. His leadership is credited with transforming the command into a team-based, high-performing organization. He champions several business practices, such as contribution-based compensation and appraisal system, which are still in place at Marine Corps Systems Command today. In 2003, Major General William Caddo established the Lawrence P. Kreitzer Leadership Award in his name. The recipient of the Lawrence P. Kreitzer Leadership Award for Acquisition, Innovation, and Excellence is Mr. Donald Kelly. Mr. Kelly displayed exemplary leadership while serving as the program manager, ground-based air defense for PEO Land Systems in 2021. His inspiring leadership, motivating persona, and total dedication to Marine Corps GBAD mission have been truly impressive. Supporting joint urgent needs, he provided Marines in combat operations with state-of-the-art systems while leading the MADIS Increment 1 integration effort to provide low-altitude air defense Marines with superior counter-UAS capabilities to address emergent threats. Mr. Kelly is a model for leadership excellence within the Marine Corps acquisitions community. Our final award presented this evening is the Colonel Richard Dick Bates Award. Mr. Eric Heckle of Catalyst Solutions, which sponsors this award, will join us on stage. Catalyst Solutions advances Marine Corps programs through engineering, communication, and management support to include consulting support for Colonel Richard Dick Bates' former office, which is now the MARCOR Syscom G3 Director of Operations and Programs. The Bates Award is presented to an individual who is hand-selected by the commander for an extraordinary contribution toward the achievement of the command's goals and major initiatives. Prior to his retirement from federal service, Colonel Bates served 20 years as Marine Corps Systems Command as Director of Program Analysis and Evaluation and Assistant Commander for Program Management. Colonel Bates was a valued advisor to several Marine Corps Systems Command commanders and a respected expert in defense acquisition. In 2013, Brigadier General Frank Kelly established this award in his honor. The recipient of the Colonel Richard Dick Bates Award is Mr. John Maurer. As Deputy Portfolio Manager, Mr. Maurer's persistent dedication and resilient leadership were directly responsible for the exemplary execution of the Command Element Systems portfolio. Mr. Maurer, a linchpin for the organization, was the steadfast continuity needed during multiple complex transitions to include securing the multi-channel handheld contract, a $750 million award. His vigilance to the mission and determination to the enhancement of the portfolio applications have made significant contributions to communications and intelligence capabilities for the warfighter. Mr. Maurer's strength as a leader, as well as a collaborator, allowed for a plethora of strategic improvements that will leave a lasting impact on command element systems and a solid footprint for future leaders to follow. Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant General Sciardi.
That's me. All right. Captain Barefoot, thank you so much. Big round of applause here. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to our conclusion. Again, tonight we recognize some outstanding individuals for some phenomenal achievements. But as you look around the room, the members of the Marine Corps Systems Command and all those that support them, really great thank you. And the reason I say that is if you look through our history of the Marine Corps, there's certain points, perhaps the Higgins boat is one of those, but there's other points in our history where we underwent some technological and capabilities transformation, and we are there today. And General Heckle has highlighted the reasons why, obviously. I'm surprised you left out some of the F-bombs, but for the guys behind you, it's really good. But it's good. You controlled yourself. But because of that, your work that you do is so vital and so critical to force design capabilities. So thank you again. And again, a great round of applause to all our winners, but to you as well, too. Again, as we close this out, I want to just another round of applause to the team that put this together, Leanne and her team back there. I wish all of you safe travels home tonight, and Semper Fidelis. We'll see you next time.